people. Why they get offended so easily? Throw a pair. Just take it and move on. Do 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 da do da do do do. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Vicky, good to see you. Do you have PJ Cruikshank?
Oh, good. That's still fine. Jesus still loves us.
Hey, man. Michael Korn, what's up, Vlad? How you guys doing? And we are live, I think. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Tonight's going to be a very triggersome stream for some people. We've already been having some triggered numpties like Sean Hawkins coming in.
You know, Flatzoid, both you and Dave are just...
Get out of my pocket!
You are too much of a coward.
And Craig, if you beat the fallacy king.
You stupid woman.
That's gonna be an interesting one tonight. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. It's going to be a good one. We've got Michael Korn, PJ Cruikshank, Al, and Dave. How you guys doing?
Yo.
All right. All good, bro. That's fine. Jesus still loves us.
Amen. It's good to see you all here. I'm glad you could make it. Hope you've been having a good day so far. We do have a few people in the YouTube lands. Thank you all for coming. Glad you could make it. What's up, Lev? Vicky, good to see you. Mr. Terrible, good to see you. Candid, hello. Roger Ledwell, also good to see you. One Man, One Spirit, and Mojo Shop and Oxbow Spirit. Glad to have you guys in. We do have a poll going on. If you want to vote, go ahead. It does say the Bible describes a flat earth or a globe. 78% say flat, 22% say globe. Ooh, exciting stuff.
22% definitely still indoctrinated.
But I did watch it today, so at least I know what it's about. I did comment to the guy saying, "Okay, we're gonna try to be as cordial as we can with the guy, respectful and everything." Because I do believe the guy is not deceptive, though. You get those people that you can literally see they're just trying to be deceptive.
Oh,
I don't think this guy is trying to be deceptive. I think he does believe what he's saying. And there is some points that he makes that I do agree with him. Like when he says the main message of the Bible is not about the cosmology, it's about Jesus. So that I agree. Yes, definitely. But obviously we're going to rip him apart with all the other arguments on why he says it's a globe. So do be prepared for that, Vlad. Sorry, you're going to have to put your big boy pants under that and just accept it. But yeah, I did invite him and ask if he wants to come for a chat sometime. So hopefully, yeah, it'll be good to see that. Everybody else, thanks for coming. I see Sal just chopped in. And Sandro, what's up? Glad to have you guys in. So before we start, do you guys have any news?
Nope.
So we were saying about McToon with the what's it called again? Oh, the last experiment.
The final experiment. The man behind the final experiment has been revealed, and it was McToon, who straight up lied on Jaron when Flats and I was on there, and he was asked, "Do you know who the man behind the final experiment is?" He said no, and as it turns out, it's him and Duffy's in cahoots. There's another video out there of McToon at Duffy's church debating someone. I just ran across a little bit ago, so I haven't looked at it yet.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, and McToon's claiming to be a Christian, yet he's being deceptive, and that means he's literally doing it on purpose, people. Mm-hmm. This whole final experiment, that's not an experiment, by the way.
It's an observation.
It's based on deception, and it's literally just a way to try and deceive more people. Do note that I did say this to FTF as well, that the Globers have to figure out the difference between what the sun is and what daylight is. Just because they see daylight doesn't make it the sun is there.
Right.
And we can explain this on the flat Earth. It's called reflection of the dome. If they have an issue if they go there and they don't see the sun 24 hours.
That's it. I mean, one of the evidences is like from the sun, you get a shadow. Daylight, you don't tend to get shadows, do you?
And also notice, guys, they want to go on a certain time when it's like supposed to be the best for the globe. Don't you think that's odd? But anyway, thank you, Roger Ladle, for your $2 super chat. He says, I don't get why. I don't get it. I don't get it either, man. But thanks for your super chat. Really appreciate it. Okay. Yes, McToon is a proven liar. And now Pastor Duffy shows to be a deceiver as well, because even he acted like he knew nothing about it when he was on other people's interviews talking about this. I mean, what does the Bible tell people about being deceptive towards you? Is that the character of God? No.
Do not bear false witness. That means don't lie about people. Don't lie about things. Yeah.
When you deceive, you emulate the deceiver. Who's the deceiver?
Satan.
When you tell the truth, you're emulating the Savior. You're emulating the Creator. Because,
So guys, their whole thing is built on deception, and I can see this backfiring in their face big time, big time. So yeah, I'm not going to push it because it's deceptive. I don't push deceptive things.
Can I just say to Ryan, careful saying nerd, you might get called a racist.
Oh man, did you guys see Babylon B's latest skit?
No,
I shared it on my community post where Satan is busy having a board meeting with the LGBTQ representative. Like we can look at this, she's like dressed like Greta Thunberg for climate change. What's the other one? Abortion, but they don't call it abortion. They call it women's rights for reproductive systems. Free Palestine, and what's the other one? But anyway, it's actually done very well. You guys should actually go watch it. They did a really good skit on that. But anyway, let's get on to this. So Vlad, if you're watching this and you want to come for a chat, just hit me up an email, flatswood@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to organize a time and we can actually have discussion on this. Because a lot of the things he's going to say tonight, like I said, I don't think he's deceptive. I think he's just wrong on some of the things. So we'll see what it goes up to. Okay.
Is the earth flat or not? What does the Bible teach us about the shape of the earth? In this video, I want to present some common sense arguments as well as scientific evidence and biblical references that support that the earth is not flat. And then at the end, I'll share my encouragement and also
no biblical reference support it's not flat.
Number one.
There's no biblical reference support it's not flat. No way.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why it's quite a hectic claim to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also science. What science shows it's a globe, guys?
None.
Yeah. So.
Is the common sense arguments that the earth is not flat. Well, we have pictures of the earth from space.
We can stop there again. What is the rebuttal to that, guys?
And it's violation of the second law of thermodynamics. So it can't be that.
How did you get there? That's all I say. How did you get there?
Yeah, you can't go to a place that violates natural law. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, man.
Hey, bro.
What's up, guys?
Good
to see you. But I mean, this is when you know it's really got no foundation of a good argument if they bring stuff like this up. But like I said, I think he does believe what he thinks. So this is maybe he's not into the whole flat earth for a long time. So he hasn't really seen the argument based on this. So I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, okay, sorry, Vlad, this has been an argument given for many, many years and the same answer is going to be given. please first prove space is possible to violate natural law. In other words, gravity can overcome entropy. Then you can claim this to be real. But until then, this is just fake. It's CGI nonsense.
It can overcome entropy if you have lots of gravity.
In a simulation. Yeah.
You need about 15,000 gravities, and then it's all fine.
Lots of gravity.
I just want
yeah.
I just want to say, like, Bible tells us not to be of this world, so why would you put that world into scriptures?
It's now
So
a new
true.
measurement of gravity is lotsa. You get like on units, you get like 10 units per lotsa. You know what I mean?
You can also sit on the beach and watch a ship go up over the horizon. You
Up over the horizon, guys.
Over. Oh, I haven't had it being put that way before.
Must be a mountain.
Oh, he's yeah. He's doing it
This
the
is
wrong way
an
around.
argument always given to them. Is it a drop or a hill?
If it's coming up over, are you going up a hill then? As you're implying you're going up a hill, but when you say you're in a globe, you're not going up a hill. You're just following the convexity.
Yeah, because the thing is, on a globe, every point tangent from your feet goes down, not up.
Yeah.
And we've demonstrated and explained many times that it's just an optical illusion. The horizon is only an apparent position. Sea level, as like if you guys missed it, my last video with Bob the Science Guy, I put a actual definition for mean sea level on there. Sea level, horizontal. Literal horizontal. So it's a bit difficult to claim it curves away if it's a horizontal.
Yeah, Roger, when you're caught in a lie, what do? You lie.
Yeah, thank you very much for your $2 super chat, Roger. Really appreciate it. Exactly. When you're caught in a lie, what do? You lie further.
Oh, dude, I just realised I read out that super chat. I was reading it as a message. Sorry, Vlad. I just read that out now. I wasn't thinking. Sorry, dude.
No stress, man. No stress. But that's what they do, though. When they lie, because they're trying to cover their tracks, they lie further.
That's it.
Unfortunately, that's just how it is. But yeah. Thanks for the super chat, man.
You can watch the sun go down, even though we know the sun doesn't rise and go down, but you can see them quickly climb on the tree and watch it go down again. Take a picture of the stars at night from the foot of the mountain, and then climb on the mountain and take another picture of the stars, and you will see more stars from the top of the mountain. Travel.
Okay. Very simple. Dave, I think you want to explain this, and you love to talk about field of view.
Well, yeah, it's basically this. As you see the ground appear to rise in the distance, it's not really, it's just as your field of view starts to become compromised by it. That's just your perspective. Once you've come to the horizon, your field of view is now compromised by the horizon. So you're now looking directly straight across flatness, and you're not going to see the surface of the ground anymore, or the water, or whatever else you're looking at. Therefore, anything that's moving away from you beyond that point, your field of view is obstructed by that horizon line, and it's going to appear to disappear from bottom up. But it's just merely getting smaller, and your field of view is being compromised by the horizon. If you change your elevation or increase your field of view, same thing, you're going to bring the entire object right back into view, and you'll actually see more horizon beyond it. And you can repeat that cycle over and over until it fades from view due to atmospheric opacity as well as angular resolution.
Exactly. Great way of putting it. Exactly. It's just you're just pushing out your field of view more the higher you go up. Due to perspective, the horizon, the bottom of the horizon is rising relative to eye level. So the higher you're rising, the more it's going to be pushed out further, and therefore you can see further.
Yeah.
Roger Date, well, thank you very much. You another $2, which says lie some more as say the devil made do it. Exactly. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, man. You rock. Hey, Javi, Yeah, Robert Paulusa rocks. Definitely, guys, go and subscribe to Robert Paulusa. He's got some awesome things coming out.
To
Usually gives me a
Australia
good
if you're in
crack up.
America, or come to
Sorry?
I said usually gives me a good crack up. I get up and I'll see there's something by Robot Polisher. I'm like, oh boy, this ought to be good.
Uh-huh.
It usually is.
America if you're in Australia and look at the night sky, and you will see different constellations of stars, shadows of two same size sticks placed in different places.
Okay, well, first do the stars one. Yeah, the reason you see the stars is because it's location based. I don't know why they still bring this up. If I stand on one side of the street
Mm-hmm.
and I see a tree, do you expect someone on the other side of the street to see that same tree?
Well,
It's crazy.
it's like the road right in front of my house is oriented north and south. Okay. And if I'm looking out my window and I see a car headed north, he's going from my right to my left. Now, when I go across the street to get my mail and I turn around and watch that same car go by, he's still going north, but he's now going from my left to my right and not from my right to my left. Did north and south suddenly change? No, it didn't. No more than the stars start going from west to east. They don't do that. They go from east to west. And if you're looking south, they're going to be going from your left to your right. If you're looking north, they're going to be going from your right to your left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you, PJ, for your £2 which is I'll pay for that one since I read it out, Roger. That wasn't necessary, man. But I really appreciate it.
Thanks, babe. She says I rock. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Smart Queen Bee rocks.
Yeah, she does actually.
She does so much for this channel, actually. Really appreciate it. Really awesome stuff. Okay.
Places on Earth are different lengths. Test this by calling a friend in a different city and having them measure the shadow of a stick that you have sent to them. New York.
You have to send the stick to them, okay?
And you don't stick, pal.
No, they probably don't have their own sticks. Notice that stick that you're putting in the ground and the shadow you're measuring over a flat ground. You see, the thing is, they don't get this, that you can have exactly the same thing happening with divergent sun rays with a local sun. Gives exactly the same angle readings as they have for a parallel, very far away sun. And by the way, when you look in the sky, do we see the sun having parallel sun rays or diverging sun rays?
Divergent.
They're always diverging. That's the whole word ray comes from the root word of radii, radius, round, circle, to splay. It's an array, not a beam going in one direction.
I mean, if you guys go and look at spherical lights and stuff, if you've walked past anything that's like a sphere of light, the light's going in all directions. That's diverging. And they want us to say, oh, no, it's not diverging, it's parallel.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Tired.
With another $2 which says, this is for both of you guys. You rock more, lol. Roger, you really rock, man. Thank you very much for all the support you have done on that. You rock, man. I appreciate everybody that does support this channel. If you haven't already, please hit the likes, share the show. It really, really does help the channel to grow. And yeah, so please, let's let everybody know we're live and hit the likes. Okay, let's go on because I want to actually get to where he is doing scripture because that's actually what's more important to me. But I mean, we're just trying to correct him on this stuff that's been debunked and argued many, many times.
New York and London have different times, which you can check by calling your friend in London or Sydney or Beijing. This is because the sun is shining on one part of the earth and the other part is in darkness.
That doesn't make it a globe, though. Just to let you know. Light has limitations, just like everything else in reality.
Michael, I just said the same to you in private chat. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just said the same to you. And Vicky just said the same to me in WhatsApp as well. Everybody's texting me the same. Yeah, I just said it in private chat. I put Michael next to it. So I'm just thinking it might be. I think it might be. Yeah, what do you reckon? Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing I don't get is why this is from all the people from the globe side. Why do they somehow think just because you say flat Earth, there's no limitations to anything? Everything is just automatically, you'll see something, no matter how far away it is. The light will always reach the outer edges. There's no angular size change limitations. They think everything is just literally just limitless when it comes to flat Earth. Why is that? Have you guys not realized that? It's like they just think you should see everything.
I mean, a lot of them don't research it before they start spouting off their objections, so it's just ignorance.
Yeah, but think about it. You can ask them the same question, okay? Okay, on a globe, should you see the Eiffel Tower from Italy? No, you wouldn't. Okay, on a flat Earth, should you see the Eiffel Tower from Italy? Yes. Why?
Why?
I mean, like a row of trees can block your vision easily.
Yeah, but even angular size change. I mean,
Of course.
it's foreshortening. Everything has limit. I mean, you're looking more and more through more air. There's dust in the air. There's smog. There's things in the way. Yeah, what the hell? I don't know. It's like they just think automatically all physics and optical aberrations and stuff just vanish because you say it's flat. I just don't get that.
Well, they
One
think
thing I
light
don't-
travels forever, don't they? That's part of it.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest shit thing I've ever heard, too. Why would anybody think that?
I don't know. Dave.
Well,
I mean-
the problem is they need that soft. Remember, because they claim stars and galaxies and things are trillions of miles away that they see. So they need it to be unlimited because they need us to be able to say, look, we can see that star that's burnt out trillions of years ago because it took trillions of years to get to us. So it's very, very far away. So therefore, you have to be able to see light trillions of years away. So why would you say on Earth you can't see something? Yet I can take a cigarette butt a kilometer away and you can't see it. No matter what altitude you set it, Earth's got nothing to do with it. Just the light is too dim to be able to be seen.
Oh, yeah, I have proof that I beat
Yeah.
Elon to Mars.
You have proof?
I have proof. You want to see it?
Yeah,
This
go
is
ahead.
real easy. Yeah, if you're going to go to Mars, take a Jeep, not a Tesla. Not a Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
One thing is that Jeep's much cheaper.
Yeah.
Nice pride-coloured spare tire cover.
Yeah.
I like that nice flat reflection.
That's beautiful, man.
That's Mono Lake in California. It's a really high salinity lake. It's a salt lake.
Yeah.
And these are mineral deposits that grow up out of this lake. It's pretty cool, man.
And look how symmetrical it looks with the reflection. It's that good. It's that flat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you to Roger for a $2 super chat. That's why I was going to send PJ. Thank you very much, Roger. You rock, man.
I mean, that's like the Martian landscape all over the place, you know?
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
the T.
so
Color and everything. But I mean, how much people have actually gone and say, hey, I've seen that backdrop that they've used there, you know, and they actually go to the location like in Greenland or something.
yeah.
And actually show them they claim to be with a rover on Mars, but yes, the location looks exactly the same.
Aye.
Why do they need to fake it if it's supposed to be real, guys? Think about it.
Look at the entropy. Oh my God, look at the
You know
entropy.
something in that picture there look more like Mars than my videos of actual alleged Mars is. You know what I mean? And the ones I put together, that looks more like Mars than my videos do, and that's meant to be on Mars. You know what I mean?
We used to get these lenticular clouds out there all the time. They were really cool. They freak you out, man, because it's like a lot of times it would just be like the rest of the sky's clear and there's just that right there. And it's like there's a UFO hiding in there. You know,
They look too smooth.
We get them a lot. Usually see them like at tea time-ish.
Earth is round. The second reason why I believe the Earth is not flat is because of scientific evidence. Gravity is a force that pulls.
Nope.
No.
Who's going to break it to Vlad?
Not a fast, mate.
It's not on anything.
Newtonian gravity was superseded by Einstein 109 years ago. Gravity is not a force. Sorry to tell you, but it is the mathematical conceptual fourth space Riemannian space-time that spans space and time. That is only a mind construct. It's not actual. It only appears to give it as a force. So when the apple falls to the ground, it doesn't physically fall to the ground due to a force. It is not moving. It's us moving up towards the apple.
Yeah,
That's gravity.
Yeah. I mean, you should show these people the thing where Brian Cox went to the NASA vacuum and he's like, the bowling ball is actually stationary. This is what Einstein thought.
So yeah, he's got a lot to learn. Sorry, Vlad, to break it to you, gravity is not a force, hasn't been seen as a force 109 years already. So if you're claiming science, by the way, there is no science for gravity. No one has ever been, till this day, been able to show me the actual scientific hypothesis and experiment for gravity. Have they managed to give it to you guys yet?
No.
It can't be. I mean, you can't establish it because like Newtonian gravity is a law, so you should just observe it directly. You wouldn't even need to perform an experiment for a law. So they got backwards thinking.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can't even observe gravity because what you observe is acceleration.
Yeah, I know. So they observe.
We observe acceleration, and then they claim that acceleration is due to gravity that we don't observe.
Yeah, I know. And then they extrapolate that onto planetary motion.
And that's why they sit in the pickle they do today. Gravity causes gravity.
I'm in that same discussion right now on Facebook. I had to answer this guy. He's dumb as hell. And it came to he was asking me why does something float on the water? And I said, well, of course, an object will float on the water if the amount of displaced medium weighs more than the object. Once again, what forced the medium to yield? Here was his answer. Let's say it together. Gravity. Wow. I said, how did gravity push the medium in all directions from the object that's displacing it? So what are you talking about? See, this is their whole thing. Oh, gravity. I don't have an answer, so it's gravity. So displacement forced the medium.
Yep.
It's crazy. I don't know what's so difficult to understand.
It doesn't penetrate the skulls. It's just like Savchuk says, it's just gravity. It's like glue. It's magic glue.
I mean, we've been able to explain why we see relative density disequilibrium cause a object to have a unbalanced force. It's because it is unbalanced due to its ratio to the medium. It's because the medium can't support it. It has to move. It has to accelerate, and therefore it has an unbalanced force, and therefore it accelerates. It's literally just the ratio.
What would a balanced force be, though?
Okay. Have you ever seen a party balloon after a couple of days? How it's just kind of hanging in the middle of the air? That balloon has achieved an equilibrium. Okay. So that's its ratio of density to the air surrounding it is equal.
Yeah.
So is there a balanced force there?
Yeah.
And what is that called?
Net force of zero.
Or relative density equilibrium.
Yeah.
So relative
Think of it this-
density equilibrium is the name of the force there.
Yeah, yeah, it's in its relative equilibrium, and if you wait long enough, that balloon's going to start sinking again because it's releasing the gas through the balloon, and eventually it's going to go. So it can't be supported. But yeah, Western is still there.
So, all right, okay.
The medium can only do the medium can only do one of two things. It can either accept the object or it can reject the object. And depending on the ratio of it compared to the medium it's in, will determine whether it's rejected upward or downward. Okay. It's got to go toward its relative density. It wants to go toward a density of likeness. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they're they're not alike, then there's going to have to be some balancing taking place. Okay. Just like on a scale, the heavier object's going to yield to the lighter object's going to yield to the heavier object.
Yeah.
If they're both
It's all
equal,
about
then the balance will balance, right?
It's all about the displacement.
All right. So, and what category would you put that in?
What do you mean? What category?
Like, would you call relative density like a law, or would you call it a theory? Because I would call it a law.
I would call it a law because it's observed.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. So it's a law. All right. Great. So it's just like a description of behavior, correct?
Because you can have a theory based on the law. So we can say it's a natural law, but our theory is based on the natural law of observation.
Okay, so is it a theory of relative density disequilibrium?
Yeah, based on the law
What?
of displacement.
And what's the distinction between the law of RDD and the theory of RDD? Like, what's the distinction?
Displacement. The law is the displacement, and the theory is just the mechanism how that law operates.
But wouldn't a law also be mechanistic as well? Because it's happened.
Yeah, but look at it this way. Look at it this way. The law is the tendency for nature always to show the same thing. So it shows displacement. That's always there. The theory is trying to explain that law. You understand?
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So the law is just the motion, correct?
The explanation of the motion. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I kind of get that. Okay. I was just wondering. So it's a law, but there's also a theory based off of that. Okay. And when you're doing a demonstration of that, what do you do differently than when you demonstrate the law? Like if you're trying to demonstrate like the theory, what do you do that's different from when you would demonstrate it as a law?
You wouldn't. It's the same because your theory is just explaining how you would observe the law. So it would give the same results.
So, okay, so when you establish...
This is the issue. You see, this is the issue they have with the gravity. This is why they say they have a gravitational law. They say because that gravitational law is the acceleration. That's what we observe. And then they say the theory of gravity tries to explain the mechanism behind that acceleration. That's how we say the displacement acceleration is the natural law, but the explanation behind how it works is RDD in the theory.
All right, okay. So how would you establish the law then? Like, just so I'm like, keeping it right. So can you tell me how you would establish the law first?
By observation.
And then how do you establish the theory? Okay, so when you do the observation, what do you do? Do you just put something in one medium and then something in another medium, and then you watch the difference?
No, you use the same object and change the medium. The medium's going to be the independent variable.
Okay. Well, we're talking about the law, so there's no IV when you're observing a law because we're not on the theory part yet.
Yeah, you can go into nature and you can just see the different displacements give the different directions of acceleration. Okay,
but in your observation, is it known that the medium determines the difference?
The displacement ratios.
Let's take an observation of Newton's supposed apple. Instead of hitting him in the head, it fell into a pail of water. Now it went from one medium to another. In the first medium, it dropped. And then when it received the second medium, it was rejected by the medium and it floated.
Okay, so then when you're and then when you're trying to furnish a theory, what do you do that's different then to establish the theory?
The theory is only you try and explain why you saw that, the mechanism behind what you observed, and that's when you go into your theory, and then when you validated that theory by doing scientific experimentation. So with RDD, with the theory, we've taken it as hypothesis. Okay, it's just the displacement ratio between the object and the medium. I've done the experiment to validate it. I've and then gone through, and everybody else has done the same thing, and then it becomes a scientific theory because it's been replicated over and over.
Okay, all right then. And is the experiment that you're referring to like the egg one?
Yeah, that's one of the ways you can do it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so for you, there's like a distinction. Okay, because I was just under the impression that it's just a law and it's not a theory. You know, it's just something that you observe. It's just like, you know, like behavior.
Yeah,
there's no like theory.
Because I think this is a problem that a lot of the globers have these days. They don't understand the difference between natural law and scientific theories. I don't think they are able to make the distinction between the two. And that's why they also sit with that problem when you say gravity is not a force. Oh, but gravity is a natural law. No, gravity is not a law. The acceleration is a law. They've just called it the gravitational constant. It doesn't make gravity.
Gravity is a claimed law, but the general relativity is a claimed theory, right? So I understand the difference. That's why I'm trying to ask you these questions, because I've been thinking about this for a while. So I would just want to ask these questions.
Yeah. Makes sense. Oh, so I went.
Oh, you get there, man.
Let me just. Yeah, it's good. Ask questions away. That's very good, man. I hope I'm making sense to you, though.
I mean, like you are. I mean, like I don't want to be a dick, you know, but I was just asking some questions, just out of like a curiosity.
No, it's good. It's always good to be asked and explained and understand things. That's good, because I mean that shows you are trying to figure out what's going on, and that's where we all are.
Yeah. Also,
I just want to quickly read out the super chat. Roger Little, thank you for a $2 super chat, man. He says, "As dumb as Craig, fairy tales can be fun."
You're only spearing about stuff. Is that what you're saying there? Al, you're spearing about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Spearing about stuff. Spearing. Do you say that word, spearing, when you're asking about something? Spearing about something.
Spearing.
Spearing. You're just spearing about something. Means you're asking about something.
I mean, maybe I can't really hear you too well, but it does sound similar to something that I would say. I think.
Spearing. I'm spearing. If you're spearing about somebody, it means you're asking for them.
Oh, I mean, well, all right. I don't really hear that often, but I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was, but okay. So how would you, okay? So I guess like another question would be, so how would you apply the law differently to the theory for RDD? Because to me, it still kind of seems like it's the same.
Yeah, but why would you apply it differently? Why would you apply it? That's exactly the point. We observe it as displacement. So when you take the theory, you're working out, is this the mechanism for what we observe? So why would it be different?
Well, because don't you apply a law like differently to like a theory?
No, I don't think I understand. A law is just what you observe in nature. It's a tendency to always happen. Just like entropy is a tendency to happen. When you have a theory to try and explain it, it's just you trying to say the mechanism behind what you're observing. That's your theory. Now, when you have it as a scientific theory, it's something that's gone through the scientific method and been validated scientifically.
Well, yeah. A law is just a description of behavior that's like a principle, and then a theory is just an explanation of an observed natural phenomena that is furnished through an experiment.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, great. All right.
Okay, Roger for another $5 super chat says, and sometimes you can take the law into your own hands. Lol, the last search for the day. Super chat for the day. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Yes, you can take the law into your own hands. Doesn't mean you don't have consequences when you do that.
Right.
But thank you very much. Okay, let's get on with the video.
Everything towards the center. Because of this, the Earth and other planets naturally form into round shapes, like balls. This is
Balls, like a balls. How am I going to break this down to him? Why do they think everything goes to spherical shapes because of gravity? That's bullshit. I mean, yeah, in our atmos, gas is moving in all directions constantly. So when you, for instance, have a little water droplet, it has surface tension and the air pressure constantly the same around it. So that's what makes it round. It's got nothing to do with gravity at all. So that's just one thing that I have to correct him on.
Well, even
easy
then,
to understand.
Yeah.
even then, the thing is that you have to, if gravity actually exists, if that's true, then you would have to show at least a downward pressure of air. We know that the pressure that we experience is due to displacement and is exerted on the object displacing the medium equally on all parts. Okay, so what you'd have to do is you have to demonstrate a gas having a downward acceleration due to gravity.
We don't see this. Exactly. But I mean, even their whole argument's an oxymoron because they say gravity pulls down towards a globe. Now, if we see things like, let's say you've done welding before, and those looks like ball bearings shooting off there.
Mhm.
Okay. If it was just gravity pulling down, why don't you have flat pieces of ball bearings, not round?
Right.
Because gravity is supposed to be pulling it down to the center of Earth, not making that thing spherical.
Right.
So the sphericity has got nothing to do with gravity. There's no observed phenomena in reality that says gravity pulls things to the center to make it a sphere. That's just them trying to affirm their bias consequence.
Then forming them into flat shapes. Physics laws, which are the same everywhere in the universe, make the planets round, not flat. It's like how water forms into drops. It's the same natural shape.
See that? That's got nothing to do with gravity. Because gravity pulls down in one vector. Why is it turning to a sphere?
Mm-hmm.
I know, maybe the air around it and the surface tension.
Yeah, if it's pulled, wouldn't it be a bit more elongated?
Yeah, it should be pulled flat.
Yeah.
For planets. Space exploration, for example. Astronauts in space have taken many photos of the Earth, and these photos clearly show that the Earth is round like a ball,
Alan.
not a flat.
Wait. Round like a ball because of the pictures from space. How does that jive with your oblate spheroid where it's flat on the top and a little chubbier on the bottom? How's that work out, buddy? These people talk out of both cheeks, man.
How do they reconcile that in their heads? You know what I mean? It's an oblate spheroid, but you're getting images of perfect globes.
Mm-hmm.
And notice these so-called photos are being taken from a place that claims to violate natural law. It claims to overcome entropy. You can't overcome entropy. If you do, you'll be saving humanity. You'll be like the most famous person in history ever.
A pancake. Satellites and space stations orbit around the Earth, and they can only do this because the Earth is round. If the Earth were flat, they wouldn't be able to go all the way around it.
Oh, so you've never heard of circumnavigation over flat surfaces before?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can circumnavigate the pool. I can circumnavigate your house. It just follows an ellipsoidal path. It's literally got nothing to do with being a globe or not. It just follows an ellipsoidal path. That's why I laugh when these guys take the EQ mount and say, "Ooh, I've used my EQ mount. It's now a globe." And I think to myself, you can
Because
literally
your
take
camera
that
follows
thing.
the sky.
It's literally mechanical, okay? It's set on a 360-degree time pattern. You can put it in any orientation you want to. It will show up at the same point 360 degrees at a certain time later. If you're setting it to 15 degrees an hour, every 15 degrees it takes an hour to go 15 degrees. By that 24 hours, it has circulated that whole ellipsoid that you've made there, that whole circular motion. You can set in any direction you want. You're going to get to the same point. It's not globe-based. It's just mechanical.
It's also based on equatorial plane.
100%, exactly. An equatorial plane is flat, by the way, guys. Horizontal.
Oh, aye. Hence the word plane.
We can see different shapes of the moon and the shadows on other planets. These are cues that they are round and the Earth is the same. Thirdly, what about...
But then we can show where they show the different shapes, and you can't figure out if it's a concave, flat, round. It's just optical illusions. How do you know? Just because it looks spherical doesn't make it spherical. I mean, look when Sov brings up those optical illusions with the straight lines, and they look all wiggly.
Yeah, they do.
Just because it looks that way doesn't make it that way. But this is the one I've been wanting to get to the whole time, guys. Biblical references that the Earth is not flat. Hope you guys got your Bibles ready.
Biblical references about the Earth not being flat. The Bible doesn't set out to teach anything about science. The Bible is not a science book.
100% agree.
This is not a judgment whether the Bible is true or not. This is a judgment about the topic of the Bible. The Bible seeks to address the spiritual saga of fall of humanity. Adam and Eve ate the forbidden fruit, the reality and the consequences of humanity's rebellion against God. We see Cain killing his brother Abel. We see also humanity's redemption by God. God calls Abraham. He fashions the nation of Israel and finally brings forth Messiah. And humanity's future destiny in the golden city, far better than the Garden of Eden. So that's really what the Bible is. It's
that I agree with him. I think you guys will agree with that too, because that is the main message. Obviously.
Yeah, of course. But so, I don't necessarily think that it's not a science book, because I think the Bible does express things about science. But that's just me.
Yeah, obviously, but it's not a science book in itself, though.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Why? It's not the purpose of the Bible.
No, it's a spiritual book.
Yeah.
Just like we say, the Bible describes a flat Earth cosmology. It doesn't make it a flat Earth book, because it's not what it's about. The book is about being redeemed by God.
This timeline of God's creating us, we messing up, consequences of sin, God brings forth redemption, and we see God is going to bring the final judgment. He will judge sin, He will judge Satan, and He will make everything right. So with that said, the Bible does say things about the earth, the Bible does say things about the sun, the moon, but its main message, like Jesus said to the Pharisees, search the scriptures, for they testify of me. In Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22, it does say, it is He who sits above the circle of...
Go ahead.
That's not what he said. He actually said to the Pharisees, you search the scriptures, thinking in them you have eternal life, but they testify about me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they were just brood of vipers. They were all based on vipers,
yeah.
They were all just based on tradition. So Isaiah 40:22, it is He who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. Why do you bring this up as proof for a globe? That's literally contradictory to a globe. Because
our tent spherical. So when I go camping, is the floor of my tent curved, and is it a big ball?
No.
I mean, this goes against being a globe.
If I have a big enough tent, would gravity make it like a ball?
Probably, according to them. Has anybody ever attempted to do this? Since they say like radio waves and everything, can curve around a globe. Has anybody tried to go high up enough and shoot a radio signal or something and make it come back to your point where you shot it? Think about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Because they claim it follows parallel to their curve.
Yeah.
So therefore, if they go high enough where there should be no curve blocking it, and they shoot out a wave, it should go right around through and just meet up back where you shot it at.
Well, if you can shoot a laser to moon,
Technically.
then you should be able to go high enough up and shoot a laser because light travels forever in their claim. Then you should be able to shoot it out with an globe and burn your back of your own head with it.
That's what I'm trying to say. Have they ever attempted anything like that before?
That's what I'm saying. They reckon they can see the back
No,
of their own
because
head.
it's ridiculous.
They reckon they can see the back of their own heads if there was no atmo.
That's a bit weird.
Of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out heavens like a curtain and spreads them like a tent to dwell in. This verse describes God as sitting above the circle of the earth. The term circle here can be translated as to suggest a round shape. While the original Hebrew word used for a circle may not directly mean the sphere, the imagery of God looking down upon earth implies a round, encompassing view, which aligns more that the earth is not flat.
Wow. What you just said there and then concluded with completely contradicting each other. That was terrible.
What a
His own
complete
argument.
moron.
If God's not got an encompassing view or a sphere, has he either?
No.
He just conceded the word circle didn't mean sphere, and then said, but it means sphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Yep.
There you go.
Wow.
Light travels forever, yet lasers you get on Amazon only go 2,000 feet. It's all dependent on the power behind it. It's just like a radio. This bullshit about, oh, we shot a radar at Venus. No, you did not. Okay, no.
That's my whole
you did
point.
not.
But that's my whole point. How can they claim
They
things
shot
can
a
go
what?
thousands and billions of miles away, but they're not able to do it replicated here on Earth
Well, you
at a
have
much slower, closer distance?
think about this. Well, I forget who it was. Some idiot said that they used radar to tell the distance to the sun. I think it was Sean Hawkins. And I'm like,
What?
okay, if indeed that would work, I want you to even think about this. It would take 8.5 minutes for the radar signal to reach the target. Another 8.5 minutes for it to come back. All right. So we're talking 17 minutes. Meanwhile, you're traveling approximately 67,000 miles away from your original position. That puts you over 18,000 miles out of position as to where that signal is going to bounce back to. Now, that's not even addressing attenuation, because this signal is going to spread out and dissipate all the way to the target. Is it going to suddenly gain strength again when it bounces back? No, it's not going to. So the dissipation of it, the attenuation of that signal, is going to increase even from the bounce.
Yep. No, it's almost none of it makes sense though. It's contradictory with everything they say.
Did anybody see that Flat Earth and Coffee put out a video earlier, or maybe last night? I don't know. It might have been earlier last night, but I seen it earlier. And he's talking about the satellites. They don't put any footage of them satellite grabbing. You know, when they go out and grab the satellite, when they're going to fix the satellite, grab and take them into the shuttle and that. It's so funny because they're meant to be falling around the Earth at that. What is it? How fast is it? 25,000 miles an hour, something like that. Yeah, something like that. And they're just pulling up, parking next to them, and grabbing the satellites and stuff like that. They can just pull up and parallel park next to them. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's so funny with it.
Perfectly matching its speed. Perfectly matching its speed.
Yeah.
Come on.
And you're edging up to it. Yeah, you can get 2 centimeters more, 2 centimeters more, and you're edging up to it. Wow, crazy.
Now, how they're achieving such precision maneuvers in the environment that they claim to be in is just stupid. It's just stupid. It's just right out of the old imagination. You might as well be watching Scooby-Doo because come on.
And apparently they don't do them satellite grabbing footages anymore because it's more HD now, isn't that? It's easier to spot. I mean, but it's so easy.
But on the other hand, if space was water and they did get through the barrier, then that would make a lot of sense on why it moves the way they show it, right?
Much easier to move through water.
Yeah, definitely.
Much easier to move through water than nothing.
Well, yeah, that you have a medium to deal with buoyancy. You don't necessarily have to deal with, altitude.
You have to have a medium to propagate propulsion. That's all there is to it.
That's why I still say, when are they going to provide us demonstrations of rockets in a proper vacuum chamber where the gas is not hitting the container walls? I mean, get the Sandusky, Ohio vacuum chamber. Stick a small miniature rocket in there and see if it's going to fly around. They won't do it because it will never work. It
will only work. Listen, I've seen the shit with a small rocket in a vacuum, and you slow it way down. Okay, and what happens is, of course, as soon as you release gas or material from the rocket, you're no longer in a vacuum. But the rocket will not react until the gases have hit the walls of the container.
That's exactly my point. Now, why can't they do that same test in a much larger vacuum like Sandusky Ohio vacuum chamber? Stick in the middle there where Brian Cox dropped that bowling ball and feather. It's far enough away to see if it's going to actually move. They won't ever attempt that because they know rockets don't work in vacuums. And, you guys just don't want to understand physics.
Say that. The claim, while invoking physical impossibilities, they say, you don't understand physics. Now, that is ultimate projection because you're believing in an actual physical impossibility.
Absolutely.
And then claim physics. That's why they do that and say, science. We have impossible shit that we're postulating. Science. No, it's not science. It's fucking Disney World. Stop.
I mean, yes, I can show myself moving on this chair if I throw a bowling ball, but I'm in an environment with friction, okay? If you're in a vacuum, if gas is being released, it's literally just pushing out freely. It's filling the available space. So that energy that it's pushing out of just gets dissipated. So there's no energy to be able to propel you back. But they just want to ignore them and say, if something comes out with energy, it's going to propel you forward. Test it in a vacuum and prove this. Show us. Do it.
Yeah.
You could actually do it with a small model rocket in that Sandusky, Ohio one.
That's what I said.
Just have it suspended sideways, so that we could see the linear motion. We don't have to have it go up or anything else like that. Just hang it, suspend it from a couple of wires, create the vacuum, ignite the rocket, okay? And have a high-speed camera rolling. But I don't think that there will be enough gaseous material from that model rocket
to fill this gas
to cause a reaction in that chamber. So this would be an appropriate scale representation as to what's supposed to be going on in the quote-unquote vacuum of space.
So say the chamber, the volume is too great to be able for that little small rocket to be able to fill it, to be able to move.
Yep. They'll never do it.
Job 26:7 says he stretches out the north over empty space. He hangs.
Wow. Wow.
I don't remember it saying empty space, dude.
It doesn't say empty space.
Job 20.
No, but this is the New King James Version you're reading from.
I don't think it
Okay,
says
It says he hangs it over nothing.
yeah, he reads it hangs over nothing. Do you? We've explained this many times. If you stick something like that egg we spoke about earlier, Joe, with that egg in the water, and it was neutrally buoyant, it hangs on nothing because it's neutrally buoyant in water. And what does the Bible tell us, guys, about the waters above and the waters below?
There you go.
Earth is hanging upon nothing. It's neutrally buoyant.
Yeah.
There we go. So flat Earth, then, not globe Earth.
It says he stretcheth out the north over the empty place.
Place, and he says space.
And
Well, let's
hangeth the earth upon nothing.
New King James. I'm going to also quickly go check it out because he's reading from the New King James. Job 26. Okay, Job 26. Oh, why is it not? Okay, Job 26. And this is King James, New King James. And he stretches out, in the New King James, it says he stretches out the north over empty space.
Yeah, it does say. It
and
says
the earth upon nothing.
Yeah,
That's the New King James. So that's a translation from the New King James.
But most of the Berean standard says empty space. It does actually say empty space. But that's the Berean standard. King James says empty place. New King James, empty space. New King James, New American Standard is empty space. NASB 1995, empty space. There is a few says empty space, but the like New International Version that's empty. Oh, that says empty space as well. No, they all say empty space. There's a lot that says empty space.
But look what it is. It's formless, confusion, unreality, emptiness, formless, primeval earth, nothingness, empty space. Oh man, what the hell? Tohu. I went into Tohu now. Okay, and then it says that it is empty or unreal, of idols, wasteland, wilderness, of solitary places, a place of chaos, vanity. So in other words, nothing. It's just water, as the globe says. Globe.
As
the Bible says.
Yeah, they're trying to make out that space actually means space, like the final frontier. You know what I mean? Wow.
Mm-hmm. It says formless. It has no form.
It's a description of something. It's not a place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just now because the New King James puts it as space. It's actually deceptive because it's making it sound like space in the air, but it's not. It's just to represent there's nothing there. It's just formless. It's just nothing. It's void. And this is well explained if you look at the Hebrew cosmology. From we're just floating, buoyant, you could say, in the waters. Hey, Iftabul, what's up, man?
Oh, hey, Joe. Good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, man.
The earth.
Okay, so the NIV, hold on, the NIV does have that. The NIV does say space, though.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
He says he spreads out the northern skies over empty space.
Yeah.
He suspends the earth from nothing. So he's actually passing a King James version, an NIV, King James.
Yeah, but he's reading the New King James. The New King James also has that translation.
New King James does say it, yeah.
But the normal King James doesn't, but the New King James does. But have you guys realized the later translations of the Bibles and stuff are more prone to trying to translate them to more of a globe orientation kind of thing? space and saying the firmament is just, expanse of heavens instead of trying to say, it's a firmament of solid. Because people have biases, unfortunately.
That's it.
Noteworthy for its ancient insight into the nature of the earth in space. The phrase, he hangs the earth on nothing, suggests that the earth is suspended in space without any visible support.
No. What it says is based on context of how the Hebrew cosmology was.
Yeah.
Based on it's inside the waters. I mean, let me get the Hebrew cosmology up.
And according to the heliocentrism, anyway, is space empty? No, it's full of planets and stars and space dust, asteroids, comets, all that kind of stuff. Allegedly.
Yeah.
So it's not a description of their space that they love so much.
You see, there we go. The Earth's hanging upon nothing, guys. You can see that the Earth's hanging upon nothing. He stretched it over like a tent.
Yeah.
It's inside waters.
Yeah, it's like a spirit
There
level
we go.
bubble.
Yeah. So that's how it explains it. Not in space, as in your cosmic space with aliens and stuff in there. And planets. Because even that goes against the guys, if you think about it, because it says nothing, formless, without void, nothing there. Your space has planets and galaxies and stars, black holes and white dwarfs and aliens and it's insane.
And Gandalf and Bilbo and
Bilbo.
It's full of stuff.
Aslam
It's
and the
full of
Mad
stuff.
Hatter.
But you think about it, it's full of stuff. There's space. So it goes against actually anything where if you see like the Hebrew cosmology and how it's actually explained, the waters, it's the abyss. There's nothing there. It's just water. So it's neutral buoyancy in water.
This aligns with our current understanding of the Earth floating in the vacuum of space.
It can't float in nothing. You see, this also, he says floating in the vacuum of space. Has anybody tried to float anything in a vacuum before?
Well, I've a hard job.
What was I watching? I was some sci-fi thing. It was pretty recent too, but it was like they go into this airlock, and as soon as they remove the air pressure inside the airlock, like to match, they became weightless and started floating. And it's like, they're trying to get people under the idea that you'll float in a vacuum. This is ridiculous.
Wow.
I think it was that one where the 100, where they sent those people back down to Earth after, it's been like 100 years since the nuclear war, and they sent them back down there, and it was on that one, I think. Yeah, that's what it was, because this girl got her 0G certification. My wife and I sit there and watch that shit, and we just laugh.
I can think about it.
Concept that is consistent with the Earth being more like a ball than a pancake. What we do know is the Bible uses common, ordinary phrases like we do today. For example, we say the sun rises in the morning, or what a beautiful sunset. But we know that the sun does not rise or set. It is the earth that is rotating on its axis, giving the appearance to us on the earth's surface that the sun itself is rising.
Okay, and we can debunk that based on scripture now. When Joshua asked God to stop the sun from moving.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, you understand it was actually stop the earth, and that's what caused the tower in Pisa to lean.
Yeah.
Because everything kept moving.
Because the momentum.
And it just like that, everyone, oh shit!
That's it. That's got to be what happened.
So yeah, Vlad.
I thought it was Superman that did it. He straightened up and then leaned it again, didn't he?
So Vlad, you'd have there's quite a few arguments we can give this. First of all, Joshua asked God to stop the sun from moving, not the earth. And if you go back to Genesis, God created the earth before he created the sun. The sun only came on the fourth day. According to the heliocentric globe model, to have a day, it's a revolution of the earth around the sun.
Mm-hmm. And if they knew from the start it was a globe, even from like the biblical times, they knew from the start it was a globe, why would they call it sunrise? They'd call it earthfall. If they knew it was a globe, they wouldn't describe it as a sunrise, would they?
Right.
Well, let me put it this way. A day is a rotation of the earth in its axis around the sun, okay? So, in other words, how did they do that to get to the fourth day if the sun only came on the fourth day? How did you have the 3 days before that on your globe?
And how did they have light before that, too?
Yeah.
You understand? So we can give many scriptures to show what he just said is totally debunked by scripture, because even the ones he brought up, he's sort of taking out of context. He's trying to clutch at straws, which is really odd, though. So, guys, do go and comment to Vlad. Tell him we would love to have a conversation with him on the subject. You'll see my comment in his video as well. His video is linked in the description. I did tag him. And Vlad, if you want to have a discussion, we'll be more than happy to discuss this with you. I think this can be an exciting discussion, actually. Because I like this guy. Like I said, I see him as genuine. I don't think he's being deceptive or anything. I do believe he believes what he's saying. Because we've got those guys that you can say, oh, no, these guys are deceptive.
Aye.
But I think he does believe this. I don't see him being deceptive here. I think he just has a misunderstanding of how the words are working, maybe. But he is clutching a bit at straws. That's for sure.
The following are the few verses that people who believe that the earth is flat use. Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. After these things, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, on the sea, or on any tree. This verse is often cited in flat earth discussions. However, the 4 corners of the earth is the common expression that denotes the entirety of the earth.
Yeah, the cardinal distances, north, east, south, and west. You can't have 4 corners on a globe. We can have 4 corners on a circle, a flat earth. The cardinal distances do represent those 4 corners. Tony Whitcomb, thank you very much for your £10 super chat, man. Really appreciate it. I see he got it sorted from Google. If this guy bred with Sabine, he would be Bruce Springsteen. No. Tony, thank you very much for the super chat, man. Appreciate it.
There's a little subliminal one-eye symbolism going on here, I think.
But thank you for the super chat, Tony. But yeah, I don't know what happened to his eye, why it's like that. Maybe he was born that way. You never know. But
if he's got good vision in his right eye, that's a sniper's dream right there, man.
Oh yeah.
Similar to saying to the ends of the earth. It's just another way of saying or referring to all directions, north, south, east, and west. And it does not imply a literal flat earth with 4 corners.
It does imply you need a flat earth to have those cardinal directions, because that doesn't work on a globe. The cardinal directions based on a flat circular map. That's what it is. That's why when you have a compass, it has to sit flat. You don't have a spherical compass. You have a flat circular compass. Because it's cardinal directions. PJ, man. Topping around like crazy.
Sorry, I'm typing to Jono. I keep forgetting my mic.
That used to be me.
I know it used to be.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. I keep forgetting my mic's right next to the bloody keyboard. Sorry.
I just see like...
I'm not even doing it hard, you know. It's just because it's right next to it. Sorry, I'm sending it now anyway.
Psalm 104, verse 5. He set the earth on its foundations, so it shall never be moved. The idea suggests that the earth is stationary and, by some interpretations, flat. However, in the context of an ancient Hebrew poetry, foundations and not be moved are likely expressing stability and permanence.
Yeah. Exactly. Stability and permanence. It shall not be moved. And when God says,
And
when
how does
I
that match
built
up with spinning through space, right?
Yeah, and when God says when he was there in the beginning and he built the foundations, were you there? Stability. Thank you, Roger Little, for another $5 super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Says, hey, I had to say one more thing. This is a family show. Yes. Say thank you to Tony. Thank you for the super chat, Roger. Appreciate it, man. Yes, exactly. As Miss Mod says, you rock.
She's probably adopted that saying now, isn't she?
Not literal scientific description of Earth's physical properties. As we already said, the Earth is suspended in space.
No. It's not suspended in space. It's floating on nothing. So, in other words, neutrally buoyant in the waters, the abyss. So he's got a misunderstanding of how this happens, and because he read space in the New King James, therefore he thinks it's space.
Supported by any visible thing. The Word of God holds the earth. The other one is Daniel chapter 4, verse 11 and 12. The visions of my head as I lay on bed were these. I saw and behold a tree in the midst of the earth, and its height was great. The tree grew and became strong, and its top reached to heaven, and it was visible to the end of the whole earth. These verses describe Nebuchadnezzar's dream, and it's highly symbolic. The image of the...
I agree with this. It is just a dream and a vision. Unfortunately, the flat earthers do like taking stuff, just like they said when Satan took Jesus up on the high mountain and he saw all the kingdoms. Yeah, it's symbology behind it. It's not literal.
No.
This is why I say you have to figure out you have to know what is just metaphorical and, and what is literal, but it stays in context with the literal narrative of the cosmology there.
Yeah, because
So
there is flat earthers that will use that scripture about Jesus.
Yeah.
And even on a flat earth, you couldn't see it all because of limitations. You know what I mean? So it's not a good one to use. It's not flat earth. It's not a flat earth.
Yeah,
scripture.
exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's carry on.
Tree being so tall that it's visible from the entire earth is clearly not to be meant to be seen as literal
So I agree with him
physical
on this
description
point.
of the earth's shape or size, but it's rather a symbolic representation of King's vast kingdom and influence. Because it's not the tree that it's talking about an influence of this particular kingdom that will have on the whole earth. Like if we will say that somebody today is known everywhere on earth, and the imagery that we will use is like a tree that everybody can see, this doesn't necessarily mean that this person is a tree. It's just using an analogy. It's using simply a representation of a particular idea or a concept.
Yeah.
So that cannot be used.
100% agree with that point, because there is a lot of verses that they do use that shouldn't actually be used for a flat earth. So I do agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To drive the point home that the earth is flat. Now, whether you believe that the earth is flat or it's round, whether you believe that the earth is like a ball or like a pancake, as a Christian,
Hey, what pancake?
Yeah.
These people and their food references all the time.
Pizzas, pancakes.
God.
But you see, this is the issue they sit with. They always put this in their mind. They think we're some space pizza.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some space pancake or something in space. No one pushes that nonsense. Only the Flat Earth Society. I wish they would stop putting that. And this is to all the globe defending Christians. Okay, look at the Hebrew cosmology. It's got nothing to do with space. Stop trying to rope us into space. Space is just a straw man. Okay, space is globe based, not flat Earth based. So if you want to go and fight Flat Earth Society or Deltardians, then go put that space pizza up for them. But for the rest of us, we actually go to reality and we use the Hebrew cosmology as it's said to us, and there's no space. So yeah, I just wish they would get off those straw man arguments of putting us as a pizza or a pancake in space.
And what's that one they got all the time?
Jesus
Sitting on a turtle. That one they always want to use of something sitting on a turtle and shit. And I'm like, where are you getting that?
I think that came from the Hindu cosmology.
Oh yeah, the world on a turtle's back, isn't it? Floating in
cosmic
water.
turtle or something. Yeah.
Well, that's nothing more than a reference to the months, is what the turtle did. We had 13 of those sections on its back, and they referenced that using the cycle of the stars in the sky as opposed as with the 13 spots on a turtle's back. On a tortoise, there's 13 of those little plates on their back. Anyway, globies are dumb.
God sent Jesus on the cross to die for us. Salvation is by grace. God's word, the Bible, is the word of God, and Jesus is the only way to heaven. This issue shouldn't divide us. As believers, we have seen that the world we live in is anti-Christian in its approach. A lot of scientists politically align themselves against biblical worldview.
I agree.
But why is he aligning himself with those so-called scientists then?
Maybe because he does believe it's a globe, though, so he doesn't really have a choice. I don't know. But I do agree with what he's saying there. I think you guys will too.
Yeah, it's just a shame he's not on opposite side of what he's saying.
Yeah.
We also have experienced, when we went through COVID, a lot of experts cannot be trusted. We've seen that media has its agenda. And it's easy to kind of fall into this trap that everything is controlled by Illuminati, that everything cannot be trusted. The Bible does say everyone lies to his neighbor. The Bible does say everything lies under the sway of the wicked one. But there are still good scientists, there are still good experts, and as Christians, we must have some common sense. We also have to look with our eyes and with our brains at some scientific evidence and also biblical references, and not necessarily fall into this fear factor that really drives the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, the fear factor driving conspiracy is the globe. Because what does the globe push, though? Guys, we're having impending doom. If it's not an asteroid, it's aliens. If it's not that, we're going to run out of resources and we have to go to another planet.
It's always something. Acid rain's coming. Oh, we're going to have an ice age. You got to do all it. Be afraid of this. Oh, the Russians are going to nuke you anytime now. Oh, my God, there's billions of Mexicans rolling through the border. I mean, it's always some kind of shit to put people in fear. Every time, because people that are in fear can't think. They can't use rational thought. If you've ever been rolling down the road and you catch like a rabbit in a headlight, and how that thing, he's so scared, he just freezes. He cannot think. He cannot respond. He is a victim at that point. He doesn't even have the sense to run. And this is what they do to people continuously, have them in fear of something, even rudimentary, the fear of being mocked by the rest of the sheep because you don't agree with the consensus.
That's right.
You know, just because a whole bunch of people think something doesn't make it real. I don't know how people can't get that.
Yeah.
You know, I could convince everybody that if I somehow could convince them that a block of lead will float across the ocean, is it going to happen? No. Even if everybody believes that that's real, no.
Exactly. Guys, please hit the likes, share the show. I think we've only got 28 likes. And we've got over 50 people watching. So what's going on? Please hit the likes, share the show. Really help us get those likes up. It does help push it in the algorithm. So please do that. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. But yeah, I like this guy. I think he's got some great valid points, like what he's saying now. I would love to have a conversation with him, actually. And, so yeah, let's try set it up with him. Go on, ask him to maybe watch the stream if he wants to. See, we will be cordial with him. We'll like to just discuss this, and I do like him. I think he's just maybe got a misunderstanding based on a bit of a bias. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think he's being deceptive or anything. I just think he's trying to rationalize it in his globe way. So yeah.
I'm going.
But guys, think about it. What he was talking about earlier with the location, you know, with the stars. Sorry, I have to reference this way, Vlad. But they were talking about now your eye, the drooping eye. If we had to mirror the image, okay, it would now be on the other side of your face. So therefore, it would no longer be your left eye; it would be your right eye.
Right.
Which would be drooping, and that's exactly how it is, based on when we look at the stars and stuff. It's just location based.
Does he already know you were reviewing his video? Because I'm typing to him.
Yeah, I did let him know. Yeah.
I'm typing his comments now, just asking him to come and chat to you and that.
Yeah, I did let him know.
Cool.
Okay, guys. Hey, the votes are going up. Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We got the votes going in. The Bible describes a flat earth or a globe. 82% say yes, and 18% say globe. So, yeah. So for flat, guys, 82%. But let's quickly finish his video. It's almost finished.
Don't trust anybody, don't believe in anybody, and not to live like that. God bless you. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts?
I gave my thoughts. I like this guy. I think do subscribe, guys. I'm going to subscribe. I haven't already. Can't believe it. And I'll give it a like. But this was my comment. Oh, I already got a reply.
Oh, you got a reply from him?
What is with these trolls? Why do they always have to go everywhere we are?
Oh, no, I haven't read any yet. I'm just typing to him. But
look at this, what I wrote. Hi, Vlad. Just watch this. Thank you for the video. Letting you know we will be reviewing it tonight. And this is actually an important topic to discuss. I agree that the cosmology is only secondary to the Bible's overall message. The cosmology, though, has great importance as it shows towards God's character and has brought many to God through the understanding we have a creator. We will try our best to not be mean, lol. Problem is we have discussed this with so many people and have seen so many deception on this topic. It might be hard not to be harsh toward... Why is it not showing my whole thing? Okay, well, towards you. And I just said, would love to have a discussion. Bless you. Now it's showing pirate. That is your problem now. You seem to have become totally unable to criticize an argument without criticizing the person representing the argument. There is a reason for that. You have no argument, claim, supporting evidence to present in the favor of the flat earth. Now you spend 2 hours daily just criticizing and often insulting people just because they disagree with you. Shame. Did I just insult the guy? So anyway, guys, leave a nice message to Vlad. Tell him, yes, we would love to have a conversation with him and see how it gets from there. Because it would be great to have a conversation with the guy. Riley Studios, $2 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, Jesus is the son with what? With the 12 disciples of the Zodiac. Sorry to disappoint you, no. He's not the son. That's total heresy and should be thrown into the lake of pit of fire of hell.
Absolutely. I've said to him, "Hi Vlad, we reviewed your video tonight on Flat Size Perspective. It'd be great to talk to you on Flat Size channel. Please consider talking to us. If you're interested, please contact Flat Size on his channel. God bless." Is that good enough? Is that right?
But thank you for your super chat anyway, Riley. Thank you.
Did you not hear what I said then? Vlad?
Yeah, I heard.
Oh, you did hear. So I wasn't sure because I put the microphone away because it was near the keyboard, so I didn't think you heard me. Right? Yeah, I'll just send that then.
Well, we finished a half an hour early on this, so that was quite cool. So,
Great.
what are your guys' thoughts on this whole thing, there?
Yeah, he's certainly mistaken about the shape of the earth, that's for sure. But he did seem to me quite honest, and I think he believes it. I don't think he's being deceptive. But it would be good to talk to him without that.
Yeah, for sure. See, Alan put the video, but Alan's put that video from that I was talking about earlier from Babylonian B.
Oh yeah.
Satan says turn it down a bit.
Cool.
Actually done very well.
Hell, I have to look. A lot of times I'll see something come through and I think it's Babylon B, and it turns out that it's something in the real news. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Come on. Anymore, I have to double look to see if it's satire or not. I can't believe how wacko world this has gotten around. It's
but
just
Babylon B has definitely been ripping the some things.
I gotta check that out.
But yeah, I did put in my community post if you guys want to see it there. So, and Alan Norstrand's also got on his video now on his channel. I saw an awesome video if you guys want to see a gyroscope spun up, which showing it keeps its rigid plane.
What's up with it?
The gyro.
Yeah. It's going to stay like that, man. Just spin a bicycle tire and try to turn it from its orientation. It's going to fight you. It's going to totally fight you.
Yeah.
Exactly. There we go. There's this. It's quite an old video, this. It's got 1.7 million views. It's 4 years ago. It's an old gyro from a MiG-21. It's 40 years in storage, and he's starting it up now. You can see there's the gyro inside there, the casing. Yeah. Nice. See when he starts up, you're going to see how it sets it. He's getting it started now.
Good take off.
Yeah, it's starting to spin. But listen how it's starting. Whew.
Sucker's spinning, bro.
Yeah, it's starting. Then making sure everything's great. The altimeter, attitude indicator. Then let's get to where it's spinning quite fast. It's spinning.
Oh man.
Guys gonna pick it up. What happens if it picks it up, guys? Can't pay attention here, dude. It keeps the same rigid plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's telling you what angle the plane's going at based on the rigid horizontal that was setting.
Exactly.
Now, Bob thinks it's resetting that because of pendulous vanes, because of gravity. And no, it's setting that because it's still spinning rigidly. So it's going to force itself back to its orientation.
I don't know how they can deny that. I mean, the gyro would register it without a doubt.
But yeah, it's crazy. What?
What?
What's this thing? I say at Nathan Flats Quest Vu Khan. Sent me at Flatswords Perspective. What? I have no idea what you're trying to say there, man.
I think that's
All of our names put together.
I think Richard might have the symbol for Saturn and Mercury mixed up.
Saturn is a sickle and crucifix. Saturn has a hexagon-shaped storm in the North Pole. And the cube is the hexagon side. If you make one with a paper, it's a crucifix. And that's from David Icke.
Well, the thing is this hexagon at the North Pole of Saturn. I call bullshit on that to start with. Okay, there's no North Pole of Saturn.
Not.
Let me see.
Why have we seen Saturn always having loops of the same storms? They always show us the same storm loops from Saturn. If it's supposed to be different storms, why does it stay the same?
So this is the symbol for Saturn. Right here. This is what they're talking about. They said it was a what? A sickle? And a crucifix?
Yeah, that looks like a sickle with a crucifix almost. But just because they give a symbol for it doesn't make it changing what Jesus is as to be a son or something, you understand?
But also the whole idea of a hexagon. Where have you ever seen a hexagon other than from a photo from who? Where'd it come from? NASA?
Mm-hmm.
NASA? To deceive? Yeah. That's the only place I've seen that. Yes, I agree that a hexagon is actually a cube if viewed from a corner. 100%. But as far as there being one on the North Pole of Saturn, I don't think anybody's actually witnessed that.
No.
That's really good. Interesting. Dating back to the Roman times of 36 BC, philosophers wondered about the honeycomb shape, and it was not until many generations later that it was discovered and proven that the honeycomb shape is the most mathematical perfect form, leaving very little waste. So 36 BC is actually when they started looking at the hexagon.
I think this is the same guy who was trying to say, talking about Christianity and Islam being the same thing.
I think it is, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, this is Mercury.
Christianity doesn't worship the cross. What the hell are you talking about, Richard? The cross is just a symbol of Jesus' victory over death.
It didn't
Worship
say
Jesus.
Say that. It didn't say Christianity don't worship the cross.
That's Mercury. That's Mercury. And I think it's interesting that a lot of these huge cathedrals or whatever, or mosques.
Unfortunately, a lot of like the Orthodox Christians have these kind of symbols and stuff there.
That's actually also the alchemic. That's the alchemic symbol too.
Yeah, and the Catholics also like having these kind of symbolisms.
Looks like Loki.
But like you said, symbolism doesn't change a person's faith, though. It's just symbols.
Right.
It just gives meaning to what people. It's language. But no, Christians don't worship the cross. That's just nonsense.
They worship Jesus.
Yeah, it's literally the Christianity. If you're Christian, you'd understand idolism is putting another god before God. It's literally abomination. So no, I will not ever worship the cross because that's idol. That's not Christianity.
Yeah, and there is only one creator. Of course there is.
Roger Dale, $2. Did you say real news? Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate it, Roger. You rock. By the way, even in Islam, Muhammad worshipped idols. Might want to look into that.
And an house full of them, didn't they?
He even allowed people to worship idols even well under Islamic jurisdiction, and then later on said it's as a a bad thing. But his whole, we can show the whole Islamic doctrine is based on pagan rituals, based on pagan belief systems around that time. So he took a little bit of everything from different religions and made Islamic religion. We're not saying you're a Muslim sympathizer, Richard. No stress. We're not attacking you in any way. I'm just trying to explain stuff to you, man.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of idolatry in Catholicism. I mean, it's just rife for it. The point of using intermediaries. I mean, these people actually, this is crazy. These statues of saints and shit like that at the Vatican, the toes on them, on these statues, are literally worn down from people kissing them over all the years. And it's like, what? And when this guy, the Pope, here's this evil looking bastard in a dress comes out there, and these people are dropping to their knees and groveling and falling into tears and wanting to touch him and everything. And it's like, that guy was elected, right? By some other dudes in dresses. They locked themselves in a room. Who knows what went on in there? They elected this dude. And here's what's really crazy. Okay, so the Pope that's there now is a Jesuit. All right. And the Jesuits have sworn an oath to be beholden to the Black Pope. But the Black Pope takes his orders from the Pope. So the Pope, who is over the subordinate Black Pope, is still beholden to the Black Pope because he's on. You see how that's circular around like that? Because the Black Pope has to obey the Pope now, but the Pope has to obey the Black Pope because he's sworn an oath to obey the Black Pope. But the Black Pope is sworn an oath to obey the Pope. So it's just circular. It's
chicken. It's a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah, man.
Poppycock.
It's poppycock, man.
Dude, it's some crazy shit thinking. It's some real mental gymnastics, all of that shit. I had this old guy I worked for building this log cabin. He was a Catholic, and he was all the time talking about, I'll marry this and marry that. And I was like, why are you guys always praying to Mary? And he says, the best way, if you want to talk to the Lord, the best way to get through to him is through his mother, right? And I thought, oh my God, that's like going up to the door and saying, can Billy come out and play? I'm like, what? Jesus, you get over here right now and you talk to this young man. It's like, what?
Jesus.
I can just see Mary grabbing Jesus by the ear and going, now get over here. You've got prayers backed up. You take care of those, or there's no supper for you tonight. I'm like, what is this guy thinking?
Madness.
That's it, Jesus. You're grounded. No.
Yeah. You're grounded till the second. You're grounded till the second coming.
I don't have to listen to you, Jesus. You're not, I don't have to listen to you, Joseph. You're not my real dad. Jesus, the teenage years, right? He's like,
I want to know where these people keep on getting that Jesus went to India.
Yeah, I know.
No, I don't. I find a huge similarity between the Tibetan methods of prayer and healing and what's described with Jesus, especially like the Book of Thomas. I mean, it's like right out of how these Tibetan prayer healers work. I saw this amazing video one time of these Tibetan healers in Beijing. They actually made a woman's tumor disappear, and they showed it disappearing with using ultrasound, so you could actually watch this thing in real time. And the thing is that that actual prayer, and there's hints in there, takes extreme belief in that which you prayed has already come to fruition. This is why we use "it is so" or "amen" at the end of a prayer. And the key ingredient is gratitude, the feeling of gratitude for it already have your prayer having already taken place. So the extreme belief and the gratitude of that which you have prayed has already come to fruition. So in other words, how you feel that a person is now free of cancer and that it has happened. And this was amazing. It was like a period of maybe less than 5 minutes. This tumor went from the size of like this big around to just disappeared with no evidence of it having ever been there. So I see a lot of that it takes the extreme belief. Even the story of where he calls him out onto the water. He says, "Come on out here," you know. He said, "Oh my God, Jesus walking on the water." He said, "Come on out here." And he took a few steps, but then realized that he was on the water and he lost his belief and he went back into the water. He fell. He sank. And what was Jesus? What did he say? And he said, "It's because you do not believe." There it is. So yeah, you see a lot of that. Now I do believe that they have some writings in Tibet of being visited by a man around the time prescribed that matches could have been actually Jesus. We do have a long period of time that's not mentioned of his life.
Jesus doubles as Jupiter.
My only issue is I've heard people say that he went like to Tibet and places like that, and he were opening chakras and that, and I don't buy that bull.
Well, the Mormons believe he came here to the Americans.
Yeah, USA, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's in the Book of Mormon, isn't it?
Yeah,
about that. Yeah,
I have that too. I have a pretty good collection of religious books, different versions of the Bible. I have the Quran, Book of Mormon, all that.
Okay, I've got Bart Ehrman on about this whole thing, Jesus going to India. Did Jesus go to India? Modern gospel forgery. Did Jesus go to India? Last week I mentioned in passing, little known fact, that the apocryphal idea that Jesus traveled to India as a child to learn from the Brahmins comes to us not from ancient forgeries, but relatively modern ones. So it's a modern forgery, guys, that raised some interest among readers and realized that I haven't actually dealt with this intriguing issue in the blog before, but I did deal with it in one of my books on forgery and one written for general audiences. So it's a modern forgery about saying that Jesus went to India, guys. There's no actual evidence he ever went.
Richard, don't talk crap, please.
Different variants in the same story. Nope. But yeah, so it's just forgery. That's the thing. I mean, that's why when the people try and bring up even like the Book of Barnabas to me, it's like, oh, dude, why didn't you bother the Book of Barnabas anymore? It never had it. Book of Barnabas is 13th and 14th century.
Mm-hmm. That's in the Catholic Bible, right?
Gilgamesh is Noah.
Most of the heresies are new, like that, you know.
They come later on. Exactly.
I'm schooling you. Yeah.
Yeah, Gilgamesh is like Noah, but yeah, they had the same kind of narrative.
You're schooling this.
The flood of Noah has many civilizations having the same historical account.
You're schooling us. That's brilliant. I'm really glad that you're teaching me something that I didn't already hear of before. Already discarded.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Richard, but you're not schooling anyone, yeah.
No,
not Gilgamesh ain't Noah at all. I've read Gilgamesh epic thing. What a rubbish.
Gilgamesh is Noah.
If you read Book of Giants, Gilgamesh is one of Sons of Fallen Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Says here that Barnabas was a native of Cyprus and a member of the tribe of Levi, who perhaps served in the temple. Barnabas was a crucial early link between Jewish and Gentile Christians. Luke introduces him in the book of Acts as a generous man who sold land to support the growing church. Barnabas soon vouched for a new convert named Saul of Tarsus, or Paul, who was viewed with suspicion by those who only recently had been targets of Saul's persecution. Shortly thereafter, Jerusalem church leaders sent Barnabas to Antioch, where the congregation contained both Jews and Gentiles. Under Barnabas, the church grew so quickly that Barnabas went to Tarsus and asked Saul to join him. Together, Barnabas and Saul worked successfully for a year in Antioch. At this time, disciples were for the first time called Christians. Acts 11:26.
And what did Barnabas believe about the divinity of God, of Jesus?
Trying to find out here what he's got going on.
He didn't believe he was
Richard Turpin
divine.
says people of God don't divide. People of God don't set out to divide, but I'm afraid truth causes division. And even
Yeah,
Jesus
but you know
said
what's
himself-
wrong about all that? That's what I'm trying to say. Barnabas didn't think Jesus was a divine God. Peter did. So why would they be working together again?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's in Dick Turpin. People of God don't divide. Always, wow.
I've
Divide.
tried to
That
answer
comes
it
naturally, like Michael said, with truth. You know what I mean?
Well, here
Truth divides people.
Jesus literally said, I came here to cause division. I'd put
Division.
father against mother, son
Yeah.
against father, and all that business.
Exactly.
It says, in further travels, Paul and Barnabas preached in synagogues where they drew receptive listeners as well as opponents. In the city of Lystra, their preaching and healing caused some to hail them as Greek deities. Soon adulation turned to attack, however, and Paul was nearly killed. So they had them, like in this one place, they thought they was looking at them like they were gods themselves. You know, and that didn't go to their heads. That didn't go to their heads.
And I'm sure Paul said, do not worship me, but worship the Father.
Yeah. If you think Jesus is an imposter, then you're the bigger imposter.
You're an antichrist, mate.
You're an antichrist.
You're an antichrist.
Idiot. Go
No,
away.
but do you guys notice from the beginning he's been trying to say the same Jesus of Islam is the same Jesus of Christianity, and then he has the audacity to tell us he's educating us. Sorry to disappoint you, Richard, but Jesus was not the imposter. The imposter is the people trying to change who Jesus was. Like I said, we can show you first century manuscripts who Jesus was. There we go. That's an awesome book, by the way.
Yeah, man.
You should have kept the shortened version, Dick Turpin. Should have kept that Sorry, Lord. He knows not what he says, but he does. That's the thing, idiot.
I'll tell you what. This is a great reference, man. I was just at a book fair the other day, and looking, and that's where I used to get stuff like this, and I didn't find anything worth a damn there. This time I went, nothing. Usually I was actually looking to see maybe I could find a Tinsdale or a Geneva Bible. Wasn't no luck at all. They didn't even have a Bible. They're becoming harder and harder to find on bookshelves, because I always look. If I'm in a bookstore or someplace where they sell books, I always look to see what they have. And it's getting harder and harder to find just a regular run-of-the-mill King James Bible or anything like that. It's all these new revised editions, modern English, blah, 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 blah. It's getting, and I think that's by design. Hotels no longer have Bibles in the drawers. Do you know that? Next time you go on holiday.
No, they used to have the Gideon. They don't have it anymore.
Nope, not anymore.
Yeah, thanks, Code Punch.
I did a video a couple of years back where I found, I stopped, I forget what it was, it might have been Skeggy. And that actually had one in drawer. I made a video about it.
Oh,
you smashed something?
Yeah, broke a light bulb. On my dog's big head.
Will that light bulb ever go back together if you leave it?
Yeah, eventually, but I ain't got
Eventually.
time for that.
Well, you can keep it. Just stick it in the drawer. Just stick it in the drawer. It'll go back together eventually.
Yeah,
It'll
there
be
you
all right.
go.
It'll be all right.
Only take a million years.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you think Jesus, what son, were sun on ground like rolling about with all the disciples and that.
Okay,
Most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So here's the manuscripts, the papyrus, page 32. The content is Titus, the language is Greek. It was the 2nd and 3rd century. Papyrus, page 46. Romans 1, 2, Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians 1, Thessalonians, and Hebrews. It was in languages Greek. 2nd and early 3rd century. Then we have the Gospel of John, Greek, 2nd and 3rd century. Gospel of Matthew, Greek, 2nd and 3rd century. Gospel of Matthew and the Acts of the Apostles, 2nd and 3rd century. Okay, all of these are giving Jesus as divine, as an actual historical figure, actually lived, actually got crucified, died, and rose again.
It's
Actual
not up for debate, even atheists.
Not up for debate.
Even atheists will look into it. No, that's true.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I don't know what's up with these people bringing up really idiotic stuff. That's any scholar will laugh at them if they have to say the stuff they're saying.
I think Gideon's Bibles are usually NIV, to be honest.
I've got a little one that's just New Testament. What they're getting at school.
This
New
one's
Testament.
Gideon.
Yeah, I think
This
that'll be
is Gideon,
NIV.
James.
NIV. Yeah.
No, this
So
one's
you-
King James.
Oh, it's King James.
No.
Yeah. Huh?
Okay, I just gotta say this. Riley says, "I believe in God." Equals plus positivity, and Jesus is indeed the Son. No, Jesus is not the Son.
No.
Did you not hear what I just said? If
No.
Jesus is the son, what son on ground rolling about on floor with disciples?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He might have created. Well, no, he did create the Son, but he is not the Son.
1 John 1. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was God, and God was the Word. He was, and the Word was with God. Okay, Jesus literally, Jesus put the Son into existence. How can he put himself into existence before he was, after he was? It's nonsense. The Son is Helios, Son, Helios, Son worship. Stop putting Jesus as a Son deity. It's literally heresy. It's blasphemy, dude.
We'll go on further. We'll go to John 1:3. All things were made by him. That means Son as well. So that's that claim debunked.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. So, guys, I think we're going to end this year.
Good show, man.
Exactly. Sun worship is false idol, the base of many deceitful religious beliefs such as heliocentrism. Exactly, Scotty.
Yep.
Okay, but I think we're going to have to do a stream on this whole Islam thing as well. Tackling the Islamic Jesus, and then maybe tackling the Zoroastrian Jesus, and tackling, getting the different religions and how they misrepresent the actual Jesus. Because that might be a good thing to go through, because you get a lot of people today that, frankly, are very ignorant to Christianity for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's not difficult. You can get all the information you need.
Sorry.
Yeah?
You've got to say
Gideon was a judge.
Gideon's a judge in the book of Judges, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, guys, thanks all for coming. I'm very appreciative. Was a good stream. Please hit the likes if you haven't already. Share the show. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate everybody that just supports the show. And let Vlad know we'd love to talk to him. Love to have that conversation. If you guys want to talk about other subjects like wokeism or this misrepresentative of Christianity and stuff, let us know. We'll be more than happy to accommodate you guys in that. Because I think there's a lot of importance in a lot of these subjects. Many, many blessings. And wait, before we do go, PJ, Dave, you guys have any shows coming up? Or
I may be going live tonight. It depends. I have a friend coming over to do some work on my Jeep regarding that radiator, so we'll see. That might be him now.
Right. I haven't got a live or anything tonight. I haven't planned on one, but I might be doing a premiere tomorrow, just a reaction video with Vicky or something. Do a premiere on it tomorrow or something. But, no, the next time I'll be live will probably be Tuesday.
Awesome.
Yep, that's exactly who it is.
Okay, so cheers, guys. Many, many blessings. Could see you guys tomorrow. Many, many blessings.